These three new Chinese autonomous AI agents are insane. Three brand new Chinese AI agents just dropped, and they're about to change everything. The first one can code better than most humans, and it's completely free. The second one can control your entire computer like a digital employee that never sleeps. And the third one just outperformed GPT and Claude on coding tasks. I'm going to show you all three today and how to get them for free. This is breaking news, and most people don't even know these exist yet. Breaking news, we have a new update from DeepSeek v3.1. I'll be showing you exactly how to access it today, completely for free. And we're going to get straight into this, my friends. So basically what's happened here is DeepSeek have released this new version called DeepSeek version 3. And essentially what you can do with this is you can use it directly inside the chat for free. This is obviously Chinese AI that absolutely blew up this year, and I'll be guiding you through exactly how it works. Ashton Lee says, hi, Julian, top G. So that's what we're talking about. So we're going to kick this off with what you can see here, which is v3.1 base. It literally just got announced a few hours ago. So you can see the model card collection over here was like a silent release. They've not even announced it on the Twitter. This is breaking news, and it's been announced directly on Hugging Face. You can see the information here. So it's DeepSeek AI v3.1 base. Loads of people confused about how to use it and that sort of thing. But other people have been testing it step by step. So let me show you exactly what it means, etc. The interesting thing about this is a lot of people are actually saying that on SVG Bench, which kind of tests all the benchmarks, kind of like a GitHub where it gets the API and then runs it through 100 different tests. And you can see here that DeepSeek is actually outperforming many of the other models, one of the best variants of DeepSeek so far as well. Now, what's interesting as well is when you go onto DeepSeek now and you go inside the chat and you ask it, what version are you? Number one, it replies with, which you never used to do before, actually. If you go onto like previous versions here, previous responses, you can see that it never used to reply with, right? And then also directly inside the chat, if we go here, you can also see it says, I'm DeepSeek version 3, V3, and it's knowledge up to date to July 2024, context window up to 128K tokens. That was not there before. Previously, it would say, I'm DeepSeek version 3, right? When you have the DeepSeek enabled directly down here. So very interesting times, and we're going to be getting straight into exactly how to use this step by step. We can go inside here, inside a new chat on DeepSeek, free to sign up, and make sure that you're using chat.deepseek, and then you can switch between DeepThink and non-DeepThink. And if you use DeepThink as well, it seems to be a lot faster, right? So we can say here and say, okay, design a nice ping pong game, something like that, right? And it will start generating the outputs here, and we can wait for that to load. Now, in the meantime, you might be wondering how to run SVG Bench. So for example, like this, DeepSeek v3.1. So if you want to use SVG Bench, then you can run it directly with the instructions from GitHub here. I've got all the notes inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So all the notes on everything that I'm talking about today is directly inside here. We actually have a full 5-hour course on how to use DeepSeek inside the AI Profit Boardroom too. And also, if you have any questions as we go along, we are live right now, so feel free to ask. So it's generating the outputs here. And then also important to note on the SVG Bench, let me just come back here. So if we go to this section, you can actually see the new benchmarks, and you can see v3.1 is scoring 53.1% on the list, which is actually higher than Gemini 2.5 Flash, higher than GPT-5 chat. So it's outperforming many of the top models in the world, even O4 Mini, Flash Lite, etc., Kimi K2, which is another popular Chinese model. These are all being outperformed by the newest version of DeepSeek v3.1. And this was literally just added a few hours ago. So for example, if we have a look, this was updated 8 hours ago with DeepSeek v3.1. So wait for the chat now. It's actually generating that in Python, which I don't want to do. I'm going to say do this in HTML so I can run it, much easier to run. And then if you want to know, okay, what are all the information, what are all the specs and stuff like that about DeepSeek? So release date, August 19th, 2025, model size 685 parameters, context window up to 128K tokens, which is still way behind most of the models, to be fair. Like if you look at Gemini, it's got now 1 million tokens. API of Claude, if you're on level 4 plan, I think it is 1 million tokens as well. You can also see the architecture, the benchmark score, cost efficiency. So it's 1% better than Opus, apparently, 68 times cheaper. Task costs, super cheap. Special tokens, availability, downloadable now on Hugging Face on the open source licensing, apparently. And then you can get the rest of the information here. Now, you also might be wondering, okay, what else is there? So it went quietly live. There's been no official announcement yet. So it's been uploaded to Hugging Face, which I showed you a second ago over here. And then also you can see there were announcements in DeepSeek's official WeChat group, which is kind of like an instant messaging group in China that's used quite often. The scale and technical specs, so 685 billion parameters, precision, flexibility, can run the model in multiple formats, hybrid architecture. So this is an interesting one as well. It's like before you had inside DeepSeek, you had the thinking mode, and you also had the like non-thinking, just quick chat mode, right? But these seem to have been built in together. So if we have a look on Twitter, for example, about DeepSeek 3.1, you can see here that in the chat, this is a code by Ju Lang took a screenshot. You can see here that basically it supports thinking and search, which you previously couldn't do. On Ada, 71.6% is scoring there, which is pretty insane. So it's performing really well. This is a brand new post that was submitted 5 hours ago. So it's supposed to be a lot faster and cheaper as well compared to other models. And also it's considered like hybrid. Now, the interesting thing about this, it's interesting because if you look at ChatG5 and the way that's going, previously what you'd have to do with the old legacy models, if you're using GPT-4o, is like you'd have to switch between all these different thinking models, right? So you'd use O3 for thinking, you'd use something like GPT-4o for quick responses, etc., and you have to switch between them. Now you have this auto mode that decides how long to think. So I can choose, okay, based on the task, let's go faster, let's go slow, etc. Whereas, for example, with DeepSeek, you have deep think and non-deep think, but with this new update, apparently it's kind of auto switching between them as well, very similar to GPT-5. And the other thing I would say here as well is with DeepSeek, I checked on OpenRouter. So if you have a look at the APIs, there's been no API updates just yet. So I can't see it on OpenRouter. Olama is the same. So you can host DeepSeek locally, but there's been no new update for a local version of DeepSeek v3.1. So that's not come out. Usually they update their models like every couple of months, but there's been nothing recently as well. Santiago says, G seems cool to be OSS. Yeah, 100%. If you mean like open source, yeah, everyone's going open source. In fact, this is interesting as well. Open source AI is at its peak. This is Victor's post. And you got Quen, you got Google Gemma, Tencent. You also got Mistral, DeepSeek 3.1, etc. So there's loads of open source models coming out, and that's basically it for all the new updates. Now, in terms of the token context window, so you know how many tokens you can run, how long you can have the conversation, etc., that was a lot shorter in the previous version. So it's 64K with DeepSeek v3. Now it's 128K. So it's basically doubled. And then we've got the HTML output from here. Now, is it actually any good? That's the question. I haven't tested it enough to really tell you whether it's really good yet at this point or what the big differences are. And that might take a few days to figure out. But I wanted to announce the breaking news first so that you are fully aware of it and you get all the information ASAP. Let's test this out. Let's start game. There we go. It's created a POM game, so that's all you need, isn't it? That's all you need. Darren says, I want more hands-free, fully AI computer autonomous. So if you want to use DeepSeek and its API, fully autonomous, hands-free, etc., then what you can actually do inside the AI Profit Boarding, we have this DeepSeek course. All right, so if you go to the DeepSeek full course here, and we actually have a full SOP on exactly how to use DeepSeek with browser use web UI, right? So with browser use web UI, you can use this directly here. And with the SOP, you can actually get it to control your laptop, which is really powerful. You can see here that you can run this locally with Olama. And then with Olama, you can use browser use web UI. We've got a full SOP inside the AI Profit, link in the comments description if you want to check out exactly how to do that. Plus, we show you how to run it locally. But essentially with browser use web UI, you can get that to control your laptop, and it's basically got computer use fully autonomous. So yeah, the outputs are not bad at all, to be fair. And again, it's not using DeepSeek R1. This is 3.1. What else we got on the news? I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. It is brand new. It's fresh off the press. Let's have a look what people are saying about it. A lot of stuff in Chinese. So you got people doing reviews on it. Lots of Chinese stuff. And what's mind-blowing about all of this stuff actually as well is like DeepSeek, they don't tweet about it. They don't make a big fuss about it. It's not like they're hyping it up as humans are useless now, etc., which you get a lot from other AI companies in the game. if you look at DeepSeek, like they've not mentioned anything about it. I'm sure they will post a tweet later and it'll be available inside the chat. But like right now, they've not even talked about it. There's no information. It's just so chill. So that's pretty crazy as well. And I'm interested to see what the new update comes like. So thanks so much for watching. That is basically my update on DeepSeek v3.1. Let's see what else we can try and build here. So if we get some posts and that sort of thing, we'll try and build something a bit more stimulating here. So I'm going to grab this and we'll run a new chat. Wicked Digital Media says, jumped into the AI Profit Boardroom yesterday. Awesome. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. The other thing I would say here as well is if we go onto DeepSeek API, so you can get API keys at DeepSeek, platform.deepseek.com, and there's no information about the latest information is DeepSeek R1 upgraded, right? There's no information, for example, on the 3.1 as well. So this is really breaking information. Like we got you the update before the company even announced it, basically. At this point, it's pretty crazy. So it's building that out right now. And the other cool thing about DeepSeek as well is like you're not going to get charged. There doesn't seem to be a limit inside DeepSeek as well. And you can run inside the canvas here. So if you click on run once your response is fully loaded, then you can actually preview HTML and anything you build directly here, or you can download it and then host it on Netlify directly too. Breakthrough says open source AI. That's it. And you've got all the files here on DeepSeek v3.1 base as well. Also, what's interesting is usually you have an inference provider, so someone usually hosts it and you can test out down here, but there's nothing this time around. And there's no announcement on the official Hugging Face profile for DeepSeek. Like it's literally just some random person updated a collection, boom, let's go. It's wild. So you can see all these different spaces running different versions of DeepSeek, but you can't see v3.1 base just yet. You can just see the new model down here. All right, so that is taking a while to load. Do you know what would be interesting as well is to test, okay, what did we get previously versus what do we have now? So for example, if we have a look, this previous version, this is Dopamine Space Invaders that we built with DeepSeek, right, on the old version. Let's see if we can build it with the new version and just compare the outputs to see which one is the best. So if we go to new chat here, plug in the same prompt, and we've got the old version of DeepSeek on the left-hand side with the outputs, and then we have the new version of DeepSeek on the right-hand side. Now, if you actually look at, this is interesting as well. So if you look at the thinking time with the same prompt, right? So we've plugged in the same prompt here and here. You can look at the thinking time. You can see it's actually a lot faster. So previously it was thinking for 10 seconds. On the new version, it was thinking for 10 seconds. Previously, it was thinking for 35 seconds, which is 2.5 times longer than the new version. So it seems like the new version is a lot faster. And I do remember that, like with DeepSeek, especially R2 and the new releases there, it used to take so long to get a response. Dave Matthews says, always the first to bring the best in AI. Thanks, Julian. Happy to help, mate. Thank you for jumping on. Appreciate you watching. What we could also do is compare this versus something like Claude. So obviously, what would you compare this to? Let's compare it to Claude Opus 4.1, which is like one of the most powerful coding models in the world, right? And we'll test exactly the same prompt out and just see which one performs better. I would highly expect the Opus 4.1 is going to code faster and code better than even the new version of DeepSeek, but let's see what we get here. I do think that DeepSeek has got a lot of catching up to do. It's just been so long, and if you look at the context windows and everything else. So we've got Claude Opus 4.1 coding over here, and we have DeepSeek v3.1, the new version, coding over here. And then we'll compare it to the old version as well. By the way, whilst we're waiting for this to load, I might as well show you some cool stuff that we've added inside the AI Profit Boarding recently. Over here, inside the SEP section, you can see that we're just updating this daily with all the latest new stuff. So for example, DeepSeek v3.1, we've got like a whole guide on how to use it. Notebook LM's new updates, the new Google Opal update as well, plus loads of app examples that are built with this and the full SOP. So if you want to be part of a community where, you know, you're learning, you're growing, you're getting the latest cutting edge things, then check this community out. It's absolutely awesome. Plus it's very active. You can see all the new comments inside the community here. You can ask for questions. You can ask anything you want inside here. And then also we run 5 live coaching calls per week. And inside the class, you get access to all my best courses, including if you know nothing and you're starting from scratch and you're like, maybe I'm a bit too old to learn this stuff, or maybe I'm way too behind. Actually, if you start there, you'll be ahead of 99% of people once you finish. We also have like courses on like how to build AI agents, NA10 templates, agency stuff, YouTube stuff, or everything you need basically. So you can go as deep or as shallow as you want. And you can basically learn AI in 1 hour a week. It's pretty simple and easy. So if we come back to Claude now, you can see here that we have the output from Claude way faster than DeepSeek. So Claude is a lot faster for coding and the output looks pretty good. So let's test this out. Maybe not actually. Look at that. It's breaking straight away. So you see how we're just pressing. So you see how it's designed the game. So like the enemies land on the player straight away. So you can't even play the game properly. So DeepSeek doesn't have a lot to compete with here. It could be a quite easy win if this game just works. Let's test this out. To be honest, this one has failed as well. There's no enemies. There's nothing dropping down. We can't really, it's not really playable. That is not working so well as well. So both of them failed. There we go. I bet you I'm very interested now. If we just run this exact same prompt on Gemini, we'll see if Gemini is still the go. So we'll go over here, that's Gemini, set up the canvas, plug in the prompt, exactly the same prompt, and we'll see which one performs better. A Journey Through Existence says, are locally hosted models finally going to surpass proprietary models for coding tools like Claude Code? I don't expect so. The biggest problem is like this Claude Code is so powerful, isn't it? That's the thing. It's so powerful, and I don't see how you can beat it unless like the technology gets better. But I do think these local models are getting smarter and smarter. Really, the future of it is, can you host these models on the phone? For example, if you look at the way that Google is creating models like Gemma, those sort of models are going to run locally on a phone, which is going to make your phone and any sort of smaller device, which is what most people use these days, it's going to make those way more agentic. And I think that's the future. Whoever cracks that code, which seems to be Google, is probably going to win the race. If you look at Apple, they're struggling so badly with trying to keep up with the AI race. They're not really creating. And there we go. Look at that. All right. Even with sound effects, even though the sound effects were terrible, but you get the point. Like Gemini is still the go. Claude Code, Claude Opus struggled. DeepSeek v3.1 totally failed, and Gemini is still winning, all right? So don't worry about that, peeps. However, if you want something open source, then DeepSeek v3.1 probably the best. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to me personally, if you want to connect with me personally, feel free to join the AI Profit Boardroom. It comes with an amazing community where you can post and ask questions and join 1,200 members. You can also join in the classroom here, get all my best courses, tips, SOPs, etc. We have 5 coaching calls per week. Plus, we update this daily with the latest updates, right? So inside the SOP section, literally as soon as something comes out, we're probably the only community in the world that actually updates with the latest details on exactly what that is, right? DeepSeek comes out 8 hours later, boom, we got a whole new section on it. So feel free to join us in here. What else do you get? So you also get a weekly AI hot seat calls, 3 live calls per week, all my best AI SOPs, direct access to me, so you can just DM me anytime you want. You get my AI profit playbook, so basically all the systems I use within my business. And then also this is on early beta price, so the price is actually going up after 34 more spots. So there's only 34 spots left. So make sure you join now before the price goes up, right? Otherwise it's going to go up and then you miss out. And then you message me saying, can you just reduce the price, mate? And I say no. So better to sign up right now. And I hope to see you in there. Now, if you just want us to do everything for you, feel free to book in a AI automation session. This is completely free, but only book it in if you're looking to become a client, because on these calls, basically what we will do is look at how we can automate your business, how we can save you time, and then how we can implement it for you as a paid service. All right. So feel free to book that in, link in the comments description. And then also, if you want a see with 21,000 members, all my best free trainings, then you can get that inside the AI Money Lab, link in the comments description. We do post a lot of trainings inside here. The difference is you don't get the coaching, you don't get the support, you don't get to connect with me personally, and you miss out on a lot of the good trainings. So if you want all the best trainings and everything else, join the AI Profit Boardroom, and I'll see you in there. All right. Darren says, what else we got here on the questions? Syke says, is DeepSeek good for coding? You've seen the example today, right? So with DeepSeek, it actually failed on the coding task, but it's just decent for chat in general. However, I would say Gemini 2.5 Pro is the best model still, right? That outperformed DeepSeek v3.1. Darren says, I found vibe coding is, yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, it breaks a lot. It breaks a lot. If you want some tips on that and the tools that I'm using personally, then just join the AI Profit Boarding. We'll have an updated list to save you time. Richard says, thanks, happy to help, mate. And Wikimedia says, think of it like this. LLMs are a bit like languages. It will say the same things, but slightly different. I like that example. That's smart. All right. I'll see you in the AI Profit Boardroom, Wicked Digital Media. I know you just joined. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one. Today, we have a brand new agentic free coding platform for AI, and you can see this come out straight out of China. You can actually download it right here, get free access, and it's very similar to agentic coding platforms like Cursor or Bold.new, Visual Studio Code, etc. I'm going to be testing out today and showing you exactly how to use it. Basically, what we can do here is we can use agentic coding agents using this Coder platform to build out different websites, tools, tasks. You can delegate stuff. So for example, here we have quest mode where you can delegate tasks to agents, and you can basically describe what you want it to do, and it'll just go off and do that bad boy. All right. You can also, for example, program. So you can program through conversation. And additionally, this is getting a lot of hype right now. So what else have we got here? We have options for using Gemini and Claude in there. Again, it is free. People are going to comment and say this isn't free. This is free during the preview mode. As it's just launched today, I'm expecting that to go on for quite a while as well. And you can also wikiize your code base. It's got memory and rules. You can use context as well. We've got inline chat and even MCPs. So you can actually use MCP servers inside the agentic coding frameworks that you create. So we're going to keep running through now. And if you want to download it, just click download over here. And then once that's done, we can open that up like you can see over here. So I'm just going to drag that in. And then from there, we should be able to open up Coder. So let's wait for that to load. It's loading up and here we go. So it says, welcome to Coder. You can actually import your settings. So you can import settings, extensions, keyboard shortcuts, snippets, etc. from either Cursor or from VS Code. I'm going to go with VS Code and we'll click confirm continue. That should start setting up now. And then we've got a choice between Coder Light, Dark, High Contrast, or Coder Dark. So I'm just going to go with Coder Dark, make it nice and easy. And then you can also sign in. So let's try signing in. We'll create an account. Just going to do this on the side here. Steven says we are enjoying it. I'm wondering what you're using it for right now. That'd be interesting to know, actually. So I've set up my account in the background. That literally took 2 seconds. And then you can see that we've got an option to open a project, clone a repo. So you can import from GitHub, as you can see, connect via SSH, or open the project directly. So let's see what we got. It's very similar to Visual Studio. So if we go on the left-hand side, we've got containers, Gemini Code Assist. These are all very similar. So it's very similar to like Visual Studio Code. Canal says, let's go. That's what I'm talking about, man. I like that energy. And then you can see here, we can start using, for example, what we got. We got extensions. Can we install? Oh yeah, you can. Look, so you can install Climb, for example. Let's try that. And then also, let's see if we can get Rucode up there. Because if you don't invite Rucode to the party, to the AI coding party, here. So we're going to install Rucode as well. There we go. Hit install there. And by the way, if you want all the links from today, I'll put it inside the AI Success Lab, which is, the AI Money Lab, completely free. Link in the comments description. And if we go to new AI automations, I'll add a new page here with the D, and anything I build or learn along the way, I will put inside here. I also added an SFE as well after this video. So if you want to steal this process from me, you can. There we go. This free group as well, it comes with so many automations. It's wild. You see all the new automations on the left-hand side here, all the different trainings that we're adding. And then also inside the community here, you can post, you can join like 21,000 members. We share all sorts of crazy stuff inside there. And additionally, inside the classroom here, you'll see access to 50 free tools, our best AI SEO trainings, 200 free ChatGPT prompts, and a whole other course on AI automations. So let's get straight back into Coder, see how it's working. So Remote Explorer, Repo Wiki, that's interesting. So you can open up a folder containing a Git repository or clone. Quest mode, you can open a folder and yeah. So I guess we just have to open a folder. Let's start with that. Just going to do this in the background. So we'll open up a folder. There we go. Open up. Yes, I trust the authors. We'll click allow on there. And now we've got this load. So on the right-hand side here, we can start using the chat. And we've got a choice between ask and the agent, right? So I guess you could use ask for just coming up with new ideas and planning out the project. So let's start with something basic. Here's what we can do. A little basic landing page, that sort of thing. So we're going to go over to the AI Money Lab and I'll grab some information about this group, right? So then we'll go back here and inside here, we're going to say plan out a landing page for this free group. It needs to be super sleek and monocle. Now that's beginning to plan it out inside the chat. I'll create a modern landing page from scratch, design it with CSS, etc. Here's my plan. Let me create the files. Now, if it's in ask mode, it's not actually going to commit the changes of the code, I assume, right? So we just have to click insert. Once it's done, I'm going to switch to agent mode now. I say, okay, create the changes. create the landing page. Now you see here that you can create a message queue. So if you have like multiple messages, then you can say do this and this, etc. And I'm actually going to click on stop, and then it will run the message automatically. So if you have a chain of ideas that you want to insert into your project, then you can type in all the messages inside here and then just wait for them to load. You can also, for example, add images. So you can reference images, folders, file, code changes, etc. And also rules, right? So if you have certain rules, let's say about your branding or the way you want things to be coded, you can do that right here. And now you can see it's coding out the HTML for our landing page. And you see an outline of the project here, along with the timeline of what you've done. Bear in mind, like, I'm not a coder at all, but it's very easy to understand this once you get your head around it. CK San Diego says, I bet it's insane. It is, absolutely, always. So it's creating the files here. And then I think we can actually run this in terminal. So you can see here it's asking us if we want to run this terminal command to load the page and preview it. So let's run that. It'll run in Python, I think. So you can see it's committing the terminal commands over here, right? So this is a command, and then it's going to run it in terminal. We'll click accept, boom. FM says, is it safe? There's only one way to find out, my friend, and that's by me testing it, not you. So I'll be the human guinea pig for AI here. If you want 100% safe, just stick to like the big software developers. But if you want to try new things and you want to experiment, you want to test the latest stuff, then the only way you can do that is by trying new things, right? So that's what I do. You could always run this in like a virtual environment as well, like a VPS or something like that. FM says, I'm a newbie. Welcome to the crew. To be fair, AI is so new, realistically, right? Something like this just came out today. Anyone who says they're not a newbie is probably got a bit of an ego. So let's click on, so it's running the preview here, preview it now. Yeah, look at that. It's a beaut. It's an absolute beaut. All right, so let's see if we can open this up inside our, oh, there we go. Yeah, we can open up. So if you click this, it will open it up inside your browser. Once you open it inside the browser, it's going to look something like this. This is running on like a temporary local host, as you can see. So it's set up via Python. And then if we go back here, we've got the landing page, right? Pretty nice. We have a look, like the gradients are nice. Want to make more money with AI, we'll make the free AI success lab, blah, blah, blah. Inside here, you get 300 prompts. Then we just need to give it the actual link to improve it. But the content itself is pretty nice. The only thing that I don't like is like it's super short. But we could always go back inside here and say, okay, based on the information you have, insert some more direct response. Copy some load style on the landing page, reselling the benefits of this free group, right? And then also, if we go inside here, we'll just grab the link for it, which is this one. So we'll grab the link and say, insert this link into the buttons, right? And if you need all the links from today, just go inside the Money Lab and whatever you're searching for, whatever you're looking for, right? Let's say you're looking for coder. You can just type in coder and go to the classroom here and you'll find all the details, right? So that's how you can quickly find stuff. And if you can't find the link to this, it should be in the description. If not, just type in AI Money Lab on ChatGPT or Google, click on the link and boom, there you go. All right, so we've got the details here. Based on the information you have, insert some direct response copy, selling this, here you go, add more information to the page, plus make it more interesting. All right. And then also, why not just actually give it some images to work with? So let's have a look what we got here. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this one, and then also take a screenshot of the community, and then maybe the classroom too. And then what we can do is with those, we can just reference them inside the context. I've not tried this before, but we can try and reference the images that we just downloaded. So let's go to desktop, grab those 3 screenshots we literally just took, add another one. So you can have multiple images here. So we've added those images, and then what we're going to do from here, bear in mind, like one of the things to note here is, have you noticed how I haven't paid for an API or anything so far? It's because it's all free and built in inside this coder. So that's one of the biggest benefits of using this. A few people asking for the link. Again, just check out that AI Money Lab. All the links are inside there. I've shown you how to do it. If you can't find that, just rewind the video. You'll see it inside here. And then what we're going to do from here is we'll say, okay, insert the images attached as well, plus reference them as screenshots from the group to break up the text, plus make the page more beautiful. And so I was speaking to one of my mates yesterday. He's one of my best mates, and he was talking about his company and how basically he was waiting like a week or 2 weeks for someone to set up a landing page for him. And I was like, mate, I just did that this morning in 5 minutes using AI. Like, why don't you just do the same? So, oh, yeah, I'll just do that. And so like most people don't realize how quick and easy it is to use and build stuff with these sort of AI coders. And if you can do it for free as well, like you can see today, then, you know, it's absolutely awesome, right? It's a huge time saver. Obviously, you can build more complex stuff, but I want to start with the basics, and then we can insert some more layers. if this coding tool is up to the challenge. World News Update says, can we create images for Adobe Stock? I'm not an expert on that, to be honest, but you can create images with, for example, ChatGPT. What else we got here? Free Media Tool says, is this a Chinese company? Can we use it unlimited forever? So it's free during the beta phase, right? It's not free forever, but it's literally just been released today. So if you jump on it now, you can use basically an API coding for free. CTAO says, hi, does Client and Root Code need API from ChatGPT to work? Haven't explored them yet. Usually it does. I haven't tested it inside Coda because I literally just downloaded it now. But we can check that in a second, actually. So I'm just going to accept these changes. And then once it's doing that, let's hover over to Root Code and check this out. So if we go to Root Code here, yeah, you must provide an API key there. But here's some good news for you, and you can look at this one. So if you want to use root code inside Coda and you want to use it for free, what you do is you go over to Open Router and then you type in free over here, right? Or you can type it in over in the model section. So if you type in free in the model section here, you can see all these different free APIs. So for example, DeepSeek V3, DeepSeek R1, Qwen Coda, all these APIs are free. ZAI is a really powerful Chinese API key. Moonshot Kimi, Qwen 3, like these are all decent options. So if you want to use a free API, you don't need to pay. You can just insert these. Let's get back to the Coda. So it's now implementing the style CSS, and then we'll start going from here. Now, in the meantime, let's have a look what else people are building with this. So if we go over to new AI automation, and I want to see on X what's being posted about it. So this is Coda's account. They said we ship Coda, and wow, this feels good. Blah blah blah. Okay, public preview is live now. No credit card access. Also like that as well, because it's not like a free trial or anything. Let's have a look at some of these functionalities then. So we've got the code base with hidden features, hidden stories. So repo, wiki reveals everything, architecture, decisions, and dependencies. Programming through conversation, quest mode. This is cool. So you can write a spec, hit run, and then go off and do something else. I might test that in a second. So right now, what mode are we on? I think we're just on the normal AI chat mode. And if we have a look at the changes here, right? So let's pull these up. So it said it's updated the CSS and HTML, the JS, it's added more Alex Hormozi style copy, new sections, so like social proof, testimonial, screenshot gallery, proposition, urgency, banner, blah, blah, blah. It's linked all the buttons as we asked it to. So it's done basically everything I asked it to. Let's check it, but apparently. And then visual enhancements too, right? So it's added like animated proof and that sort of thing. And then also, this is really interesting. So like it actually can read the screenshots, and then it figures out what the screenshots are about, and then it's added them inside. And the only reason I know it's checked the screenshots is because it realizes that we screenshot the course library, which we did, the community discussions, I didn't tell it that, and also the AI tools collection. It's actually figured out what our screenshots are about, which is pretty amazing. So I'm going to click accept, and now if we go to preview this, we'll see how that goes. And then we'll run this in terminal again. So each time I make changes, I just rerun the server just to update the code and everything that's running. What else we got? So quest mode will be fun to check out in a second. We got context engineering, so rules, memory, code, graph, and indexing. It's true. To be fair, when I looked at the screenshots, I was pretty blown away by how it understands the context. And then also it toggles the write mode automatically. So it routes your tasks to the best LLM, which I really like, because for example, normally what you're doing is guessing which LLM you need. And you're switching between ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, and it gets quite messy. Whereas this just figures out the best model for you. And they've also got a forum here. Let's check out the forum. We'll come back to that in a sec. All right, so let's go back to Coda now. That's running in terminal. To restart the web server. This also seems a lot less buggy, but let's preview this now, and then we'll open this in a new tab. Here we go. It's just a recap here on everything that's done. So it's created more content on the page. It's designed it all. It's formatted it nicely, added the gradients, run the code, coded it all, added links to the relevant place. For example, even the upgrade button is included right here, and then that links straight to the AI Profit Boardroom. And additionally, if we check back here, see if this works. Yeah, this goes straight to the AI Money Lab, right? And so it's pretty amazing. The content itself looks really nice. You can host this locally as well. So like you can come back to the file. It's quite easy to edit it later. It didn't insert the screenshots properly, which is a bit annoying. So you can see here, there's nothing inside the screenshots. They're not showing, but everything else seems to be really good. And there we go. All right. If you wanted to test this out locally, what you can do, if we go back to here, and then I'm going to click on Reveal in Finder, and then you've got your project files here, right, on the Finder. So if we go back to Chrome now, open up a new page, plug that in, you can just preview it like that as well. So you don't have to run it locally. You can just open up the files if you want to. You might also be saying, okay, but like, how do I actually host everything? If you create a project like this, what you can do, this is super simple. You just go to add new project inside netlify.com, import an existing project, grab the folder, right? So grab the folder like this, upload, and that's going to host it on a subdomain. Once it's finished, here we go. All right. And now you've got that hosted on the subdomain. So you can see here, it's got the subdomain with the website that we just built, and we're ready to go on that. If you want to add a custom domain to it, pretty simple and easy. So you just go to domain management, add a domain. You can buy a domain or add a domain you already own, and then boom, right? So let's say, for example, AI Success Lab. You can search for it here, and then we can click buy on any of these, or AI Money Lab, search, boom. All of these domains are available. Really simple and easy. So that was pretty impressive. I'm loving it so far. Now, let's try this quest mode that I've heard so much about. So I think this is more agentic when you're coding. So if we go to quest mode here, new task, we can add context if we want to. So you can actually, for example, reference a folder. So let's reference the project for coder folder. I'll say, okay, build out a relevant AI app related to this website/project. Can be a simple calculator app, for example, related to AI automation, something like that. So we're going to wait for that to load, and then that will start coding out. Pete Evans says, I missed the beginning. What's a website? So this is Coder, Qoder. It's a brand new Chinese AI coding platform, completely free during the beta preview. And it's really cool at coding. It's kind of like Visual Studio Code, except you don't have to pay for APIs. And also it's interesting because it seems to be a lot more contextual in the way it builds stuff out. Also, the content itself looks really nice. Like you can see, it's kind of like almost China's version of Cursor or Visual Studio Code from what I can see so far. Literally just got announced today. Literally just got a release, but yeah, really cool agentic coding platform. We've already built out a website in a few minutes, and now we are building out an app for our website. And so you can see here, this is the agentic part of the program, right? So you can see how literally we just give it a prompt, and then it's going to run through this workflow and start implementing everything. So it's doing the design now, then it will do the action flow, then it will do the task report, right? So it's created the design, then it's asked, okay, would you like to refine any details, etc. I'm going to click on start now, and then it will move on to the action flow. So even as someone who's not that technical or can't code that, it's pretty powerful. Pretty good. It's gone a lot smoother than I expected, to be fair. So now it's creating the AI automation ROI calculator. And I think what it's going to do from the design here is it's going to start adding to-do lists, right? So it's basically going to plan out step by step exactly what it needs to do in the actual flow of creating this process. So it's now editing the files. You can see it's got 8 to-do lists here, and it's going to tick it off, kind of like a AI generated or AI powered to-do list, like Trello, but AI. And then you can see here is create the HTML, implement the CSS, build it, create an interactive form, build the results display, integrate it with a CTA, test it, and then validate it, right? It's just like a coding agent. So it's doing task 1, which is the HTML structure. And then what would be quite interesting, I think you can open up a new window and then you can have multiple projects coding at the same time. So if we go to a new folder here, we can open up a new project, and then we can use that to build something else out at the same time, if that makes sense. But you're building out everything locally as well. So it's implemented the HTML structure, and next up what it's doing is the CSS, which is step number 2. It's just going to blast through all those lists. Now, if we open up another project, we can start building out something else. So if I open this up, click on new folder, there we go. And then we'll put Coder project 2, open that up. And now we can start building out something else at the same time. So we've got 2 different windows coding. So you can have like multiple agents all coding out for you at the same time. So if we go inside the text here, AI chat, I want to change this to agents, make sure you have agent set up. And then from here, what can we build? Let's go with the classic, right? Space Invaders game, dopamine inducing Space Invaders game, just to see what it can do when it comes to gaming and keeping it simple. So it's now coding out this in a separate folder locally, whilst also coding out this project too. Now you can also see when this was started. So you can see it's running in the background there, and you can come back to quest mode later, right? So if you go to quest mode, you can see what's running in the background, what's in progress, etc. I'm assuming you could probably create multiple quests at the same time, right? So you could create multiple new tasks that run in the background too. And then you basically got like a whole AI agent coding team that are doing things for you in the background. Now, if we come back to this is building out now too, and then let's check out like the settings and that sort of thing. So see if we can change anything. So this is a pro trial. Again, it's free at the minute, completion, chat. So you can toggle on MCP tools here, which is pretty cool. So if we click on toggle on MCP, and then you can switch between whether it auto runs in the terminal, right? Which is pretty good because then, for example, you don't have to click accept every time. And web tools as well. So this can actually search the web for the internet. So if we click on auto execute there, auto run on that, I don't recommend these settings, probably not that safe, but I just want to show you what it's capable of doing. With quest mode, MCP server, so you can add MCPs here, right? And you just paste that in. If you want to learn more about that, go to the AI Money Lab, type in MCP, and we have loads of training on this, right? So for example, Claude browser use, and then the copy and pastable MCP stuff is down here, right? If you want to use that stuff yourself. Let's test it out. So if we grab the MCP code, like, see if this works, paste that, save it, and then see if that works. So we've got the MCP JSON there. I'm gonna stop that for now. And then we can reference the MCP JSON and just say use browser use, or you could use browser use. What else we got here? Apple script. Apple script basically runs locally to check all your files. For example, find the latest image I downloaded. I don't know if it actually, let's see if is that actually working? That's crazy fast if it's working. Boom, look at that. So basically what we did with this, with the MCPs, is we pasted in this information from the AI Money Lab. You can just copy and steal it from me. And then what we said is search for the latest file that I downloaded, right? And basically what it can do is with that MCP is it links locally to your laptop, and then it figures out, okay, here's all the files on your laptop. Here's the latest one you downloaded. Additionally, we've also got a browser use agent inside there. So you can actually use a browser use agent to control your website and everything else. So pretty cool there. Lots of cool stuff there. And then you can see this is making pretty good progress now. So if we run this in terminal, it's done 6 out of the last 8 tasks on the to-do list. And I think it's actually tested out the calculator as well. Let's see if that works. Yeah, look at that. Look at that, my friends. So that's the calculator that is inserted in there. And now it's done it, right? So it's implemented the calculator into the landing page that we created, right? Used in the action flow process, which is pretty amazing. So the quest mode is probably the most interesting feature that I can see right there. And now it's going to report. So the quest mode works in 3 stages. You tell it what you want. It runs the action flow, then it creates a report. It's now summarizing the report step by step. And boom, shakalaka, look at that. We've got the whole process broken down. We'll click accept, finish the task, open it up if you want to check the files to calculate a bit. It's added some testimonials here. It's coming through nicely. The embedding of the calculator is not great, to be honest with you, but you could always go back and tweak that and that sort of thing. But pretty simple and easy. If we go back here as well, let's have a look here. Yeah, I think that's good to go. All right, there's a bunch of other stuff you can do as well, but basically that is Coda. It literally just came out. I'm always on the latest updates for you, and you know exactly how to use this free step by step to build whatever you want. Pretty awesome. Definitely recommend checking it out. It runs on Gemini, Claude, GPT. Didn't cost me anything to build all the projects. The projects look pretty nice, to be fair, as you can see with this landing page. Like, I could publish that and that would probably convert pretty nicely. And if you want to get all the video notes from today plus the MCP setup, just go inside the AI Money Lab. Link in the comments description is completely free. If you type in Coda, you get all the links inside the classroom here. And yeah, there you go. If you want to get personal coaching with me, if you want to be able to connect with me personally, get access to all my best trainings on AI, plus a 6-week masterclass, agency training, a crash course on AI, etc. Feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. It also comes with 5 coaching calls a week, so you can jump on the coaching calls, ask any questions that you have. And then also inside the community, inside here, you can ask any questions in between, right? So you can see, for example, Victor posted here. We got back straight to him. Michael was asking for marketing ideas. We got back to him with a bunch of ideas right here, plus the relevant automations. It's if you need help, that's what we're here to do, right? James Dooley, he posted about AI avatars, and you can see all the help and all the community support he got. It's absolutely awesome. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. Glenn says, yo, bro, I'm new to this. I don't know anything. I was going to look if you could contact me and help me on how to start. So if you want to learn how to start, join the AI Profit Boardroom. This is the best place to start. If you have no knowledge, if you don't know what to do, etc., start with the 6-week masterclass. Join the community, post any questions that you have. You can connect with me personally as well if you need help. And then also you can join the coaching calls as well. So you basically get everything you need to learn about AI. Someone actually messaged me the other day and was like, I'm 32. Can I still learn AI automation? I was like, mate, number one, you're still young. But number two, AI is new to the whole world, right? So you could be 70, 80 years old, doesn't matter. Like you can still learn this stuff. My granddad even installed ChatGPT and started learning AI on his phone, right? So it's never too late to learn this stuff. And if you're coming in and you're learning from the AI Profit Boardroom, you're in the top 1%. Also, if you want us to build automations for you, feel free to book in a call, link in the comments description. On that call, we're going to show you the AI time machine method. And basically on that call one-to-one, if you want to become a client and pay us to do automations for you, then you can ask for a time audit. We'll figure out which systems you need to build to automate your business, and then we'll go off and implement it for you. Again, this is just if you want to become a client and pay us to do automations for you, but there you go. And Alkeem says, how can we work with you if we have already learned the lingo? So yeah, again, inside the AI Profit Boardroom, there's lots of people who are very advanced in there too. So if you've already learned the lingo, just try some of the more advanced stuff. For example, like the NA10 templates, my crash course, and all the systems we implemented inside our business. And then also, like, we're constantly adding new updates inside the S&P section here. You can see all these new updates. Literally, this was updated like yesterday. And if you have like really advanced automation requests, even like you can see, I actually helped 253 people inside the AI Profit Boardroom with different automation requests, right? So if you need help, if you're struggling, if you have a certain automation in mind and maybe you're a bit more advanced, then post it inside this request form here, and we'll get back to you straight away with like ideas and that sort of thing. So thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. New free open source computer use AI agent is insane. This new open source AI agent just completely changed the game for computer automation. It can control your computer better than most humans can, and it's totally free. Today, I'm going to show you OpenCUA. This thing just outperforms systems that cost hundreds per month using nothing but open source code, and you can see it working live right now. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. So what exactly is OpenCUA and why is everyone freaking out about it? It's like having a super smart digital assistant that can actually use your computer for you. We're talking about an AI that can click buttons, type text, navigate websites, and complete complex multi-step tasks just like a human would. But here's the insane part. It's completely free and open source. The research team at Xlung AI, based at the University of Hong Kong, just dropped this absolute bombshell that's got the entire tech industry talking. While companies like OpenAI are charging $200 a month for their operator system, these researchers just released something that achieves competitive performance as a completely free open source alternative. Let me break down what makes this so revolutionary and why this could change everything for entrepreneurs and business owners. OpenCUA comes with something called AgentNet, a massive computer use dataset. We're talking about over 22,500 human annotated tasks across Windows, macOS, and Ubuntu. The researchers claim this is the first large-scale desktop computer use agent trajectory dataset at this scale, spanning over 140 applications and 190 websites. The performance numbers are absolutely mind-blowing. On the OS World Verified benchmark, which tests how well AI can perform real computer tasks in controlled environments, OpenCUA 32B scored 34.8%. That establishes a new state-of-the-art among open source models. To put this in perspective, this free system is outperforming many commercial alternatives that cost thousands of dollars. But wait, it gets even more impressive. This system can work across over 200 applications and websites. We're talking about everything from Microsoft Office to Adobe Creative Suite, to web browsers, to operating system functions. You can literally see this in action on their website. Watch the AI control Google Sheets, navigate Amazon, edit presentation slides, search for academic papers, and even control Spotify. It's like having a digital employee that never gets tired, never takes breaks, and works around the clock. The technical breakthrough here is something called reflective chain of thought reasoning. Basically, the AI thinks about each step before it acts, just like a human would. It doesn't just randomly click things, it plans, executes, learns from mistakes, and adapts to unexpected situations. They've created a sophisticated pipeline where a generator and reflector work together iteratively to produce and verify reasoning between observations and actions. This makes it incredibly robust for real-world applications. Now here's where it gets really exciting for business owners and entrepreneurs. This technology could automate massive chunks of your daily workflow. Think about all those repetitive tasks you do on your computer every day. Data entry, file organization, email management, social media posting, research tasks, report generation. OpenCUA could potentially handle all of that without any human intervention. The system works by taking screenshots of your screen and deciding what actions to take next. It can click buttons, type text, scroll pages, navigate complex interfaces, and even handle multi-application workflows. And because it's trained on real human demonstrations, it understands context and can adapt to unexpected situations that would break simpler automation tools. What really impressed me is how robust and reliable this system is. The researchers tested it across 3 different operating systems and hundreds of different applications. This isn't some toy demo that only works in controlled conditions. This is production-ready technology that could fundamentally change how we work with computers. The AgentNet dataset they created is absolutely massive. 12,000 tasks on Windows, 5,000 on macOS, and 5,000 on Ubuntu. Each task includes step-by-step human demonstrations showing exactly how to complete complex workflows involving multiple applications. But here's what makes this even more accessible. They've also released the AgentNet tool. This is a cross-platform annotation application that can automatically record tasks without interrupting your workflow. And if you want to see this technology in action right now, they actually have incredible live demos available on their website at opencua.xlang.ai. I'm talking about a full computer use showcase with step-by-step demonstrations of the AI performing real tasks. You can watch it search for weather in Manchester, create tables in presentation slides, search for research papers on Google, work with spreadsheets, manipulate Amazon listings, control Spotify, and handle complex multi-application workflows. These aren't fake demonstrations. These are actual working examples you can see right now. But here's what's really wild about this whole situation. They're giving it all away for free. The models, the datasets, the training code, the evaluation benchmarks, everything. That's a massive statement to the big tech companies trying to lock this technology behind expensive paywalls and subscription services. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below if you're excited about this technology and want to see more coverage of open source AI tools. If you want to get your hands on the AI training that's helping entrepreneurs scale their businesses and implement these automation tools, check out the AI Money Lab, link in the comments and description below. The system is particularly impressive at multi-step workflows that involve switching between different applications. Something that would take you 20 or 30 minutes of clicking, typing, and navigating could be completed by OpenCUA in just a few minutes with perfect accuracy and consistency. What's really impressive is the error handling and adaptability. When the AI encounters unexpected situations, pop-up windows, or system errors, it doesn't just crash or give up. It adapts and finds alternative solutions, just like an experienced human worker would. That's the difference between a toy and a professional automation tool. The research team also built in comprehensive safety measures to prevent misuse. The system is designed to work within ethical boundaries and won't perform harmful, illegal, or inappropriate activities. They've learned from the mistakes and controversies of other AI companies in this space. For developers and tech enthusiasts, this is pure gold. You can actually examine the source code, access the AgentNet tool for recording your own computer use demonstrations, modify the system for your specific needs, build custom applications on top of it, and contribute improvements back to the community. They even have working demos on their website that you can watch right now. Everything from weather searches to presentation editing to e-commerce tasks. Try doing that with OpenAI's completely closed black box system. I've been testing AI automation tools for years, and most of them are glorified macro recorders that break as soon as anything changes. OpenCUA is fundamentally different because it actually understands what it's looking at. It can handle dynamic content, unexpected pop-ups, interface changes, and complex user interfaces that would completely break simpler automation systems. The timing of this release is absolutely perfect. We're seeing massive layoffs in tech, rising costs for AI services, inflation hitting small businesses, and increasing demand for automation solutions. OpenCUA gives small businesses and individual entrepreneurs access to the same level of sophisticated automation that was previously only available to Fortune 500 companies with massive tech budgets. One thing that really stands out is the exceptional quality of the training data. Most AI systems are trained on synthetic data or scraped content from the internet. OpenCUA was trained on real human demonstrations of actual work tasks performed by experts. That means it learned from watching skilled professionals perform their jobs, not from random internet content or artificial scenarios. The benchmark results speak for themselves and show just how impressive this system really is. On Web Voyager, which tests web browsing and online task completion, systems like this typically struggle with the complexity and unpredictability of real websites, but OpenCUA demonstrates strong performance across diverse web environments, handling everything from e-commerce sites to productivity platforms to complex business applications. What makes this even more remarkable is that it's coming from a university research lab, not a massive corporation with unlimited resources and billions in funding. This shows that genuine innovation isn't just happening in Silicon Valley boardrooms, it's happening in universities and research institutions around the world. The system architecture is specifically designed for scalability and accessibility, unlike some AI systems that require specialized hardware, expensive cloud infrastructure, or complex setup procedures. OpenCUA can run on standard consumer hardware. That makes it accessible to individuals and small businesses who don't have massive tech budgets or dedicated IT teams. What's happening here is much bigger than just one AI system or research project. We're witnessing the democratization of advanced AI capabilities. Technologies that were previously locked behind corporate walls and expensive subscriptions are becoming freely available to everyone with an internet connection. The research methodology behind AgentNet is particularly impressive and sets a new standard for the field. By recording real human interactions across diverse software environments, they created training data that captures the full complexity of computer use, not just simplified scenarios or artificial tasks. This release also highlights the truly global nature of AI development and innovation. While much media attention focuses on American companies, groundbreaking work is happening in universities and research institutions worldwide. The University of Hong Kong team is making significant contributions to open AI development. The future of work is being written right now, and open source AI automation tools like OpenCUA are giving everyone a chance to participate in that future actively. Whether you're watching their incredible live demos on OpenCUA X Lung AI, showing the AI controlling everything from weather apps to presentation software, downloading the AgentNet tool to record your own workflows, or diving into the full source code and models, you're not just observing this transformation, you can be part of building it. If you're serious about scaling your business and want to join over 1,000 other entrepreneurs leveraging AI for growth, check out my AI Profit Boardroom. It's the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Currently have 1,000 members working together to build the future. If you want to book a free SEO strategy session to discuss how AI automation could transform your specific business, there's a link in the comments and description below. You see how I show a checklist of 100 different tutorials that were given away as freebies every day inside the school feed in our AI Money Lab. We also have an SOP and process for implementing these automation tools, along with over 100 use cases and real-world examples. You can get all the video notes and resources, plus access to our community of 19,000 members who are all working on scaling their businesses with AI. Link in the comments and description.